thought that never left its home. I am forever your effect. You forever and forever are my cause. As you created me, I have remained. Where you established me, I still abide. I am forever an effect of God. Father, I was created in your mind, a holy thought that never left its home. I am forever your effect, and you forever and forever are my cause. As you created me, I have remained. Where you established me, I still abide. And all your attributes abide in me, because it is your will to have a son, so like his cause, the cause and its effect are indistinguishable. Let me know that I am an effect of God, and so I have the power to create like you. And as it is in heaven, so on earth. Your plan I follow here, and at the end I know that you will gather your effects into the tranquil heaven of your love, where earth will vanish and all separate thoughts unite in glory as the Son of God. I am forever an effect of God. Father, I was created in your mind, a holy thought that never left its home. I am forever your effect, and you forever and forever are my cause. As you created me, I have remained. Where you established me, I still abide. Where you established me, I still abide. Let us today behold earth disappear, at first transformed and then forgiven, fade entirely into God's holy will. 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 All right, here we are. Lesson 326. This is a really cool lesson. They're all cool. They're all amazing. They're all hot. They're all cool. They're all, you know, the course. Of course. The course is the course. A course is a course. Of course, of course. Lesson 326. I am forever an effect of God. And the word effect is capitalized. The E is capitalized. It's interesting, right, that the E is capitalized there. But we'll talk about that. All right. Paragraph 1. Father, I was created in your mind, a holy thought that never left its home. I am forever your effect, and you forever and forever are my cause. As you created me, I have remained. Where you established me, I still abide. And all your attributes abide in me, because it is your will to have a son, so like his cause, that cause and its effect are indistinguishable. Let me know that I am an effect of God, and so I have the power to create like you. And as it is in heaven, so on earth. Your plan I follow here, and at the end I know that you will gather your effects into the tranquil heaven of your love, where earth will vanish, and all separate thoughts unite in glory as the Son of God. Powerful prayer statement right there. Paragraph 2. Let us today behold earth disappear, at first transformed and then forgiven, fade entirely into God's holy will. So, before we go on, all these lessons, the way I've been putting it is they're all invitations to the Holy Spirit. They're all invitations to the holy instant, right? These are all invitations to go beyond the world, go beyond the body, go beyond the world, and know yourself again as the one son that we all are. Not just you, but we all are that one son. And this is using dualistic language, but is it getting at a non-dualistic truth? That's the question. That is, has been debated, hotly debated, coolly debated, in the Course community. What do you take literally of what the Course is saying, and what do you take metaphorically? When the word effect is with a capital E, and when it says I am forever an effect of God, that seems to be saying I am forever God's son, right? I am forever the child of the one, right? I am not God, right? That seems to be saying that there is some kind of separation still between what I am and what God is, right? We have to be honest, right, about what it seems to be saying, right, on the surface at least. And then we have to also be honest about, and it's not just about being honest, it's about really fully engaging with the Course in its fuller context, to try to understand what is really being said on a deeper level, because there are deeper levels of this, right? This is not just, you just take this on face value. Wish it were so, but that's why the Course is the Course, is because it can and it is read on different levels. It's meant to be read on different levels. It's meant to hit you wherever you are at that moment in your journey home, right? In your atonement process, it's going to hit you at a different place. What my job is, at least what I am taking it to be, is I am trying to explain this at the deepest level that I can, without, hopefully getting in the way of what it's actually saying. I am forever an effect of God. All right, so let's just talk about what has come before. Lesson 325, all things I think I see reflect ideas. That was yesterday. My video got cut off because I ran out of battery. I have enough battery today. I have enough space, so that won't happen. All things I think I see reflect ideas. There's only really one idea, right? There's only one source. There's only one God. There's only one truth. There's only one reality. There's only one thought in God's mind, right? If God even has a mind, I mean, that's also conceptual. That's also something that we can hold on to, something tangible, a tangible idea that we need to make sense of what this is saying. Does God really have a mind? Does God really have a thought? Does God really have... If there's perfect oneness, maybe there is no thought whatsoever. The only reality is just perfect oneness, perfect love, right? That is not something that we can conceive of at the moment, right? From where we stand, where we sit, we cannot conceive of what that is, but we can... Jesus seems to be pointing at a reality beyond words, beyond concepts, beyond ideas, beyond thoughts. Father, I was created in your mind, a holy thought that never left its home. So this is a restatement of the atonement principle, which is we have never left God, right? God has never changed. We have never changed. God is still what God has always been. We are still what we have always been because God created us as God's self. I am forever your effect, capital E, and you forever and forever are my cause, capital C. Now, this seems very, very like this flies in the face of what I'm saying here. The non-dualistic aspect. This seems to be saying, yeah, there is a distinction. God is forever and forever my cause. I am forever and forever God's effect. And people will point to this, right? And say this is why the Course is not non-dualistic. This is why the Course is ultimately pointing at a dualistic reality where there still is a distinction between the Father and the Son. But let's read it. Let's stay completely open to all possibilities here because we don't know, right? I got to give my wife the speaker here. All right, going on. That's why I'm in the car. Fewer distractions. All right. All right. So I am forever your effect and you forever and forever. It's interesting. It says, I am forever your effect and you forever and forever. It seems to be emphasizing forever and forever, right? It's not just forever. And why doesn't it just say you forever are my cause? But you forever and forever are my cause. So that's even more strong, for those who, would make a distinction still between the Father and the Son. But let's go on. As you created me, I have remained. Where you established me, I still abide. In all your attributes abide in me, because it is your will to have a son, so like his cause, that cause and its effect are indistinguishable. So this is where it gets kind of funny in a sense, because now Jesus seems to be saying, yeah, I am forever God's effect. God is forever and forever my cause, but there's an escape clause here, which is that I am so like God that I am indistinguishable from the cause, right? I am indistinguishable from God. So what does that mean? And all your attributes abide in me because it is your will to have a son so like his cause, that cause and its effect are indistinguishable. Right? So in other words, I kind of think that there is some humor here in what Jesus is saying, because he knows that some people are gonna run with this whole thing about, oh, it says I am forever an effect of God. That means that the Son is separate from God. I am always God's Son forever and forever. And I love that, right? People say, I love the idea that I am God's son or God's child forever, right? And if you do love that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's everyone's prerogative to if there are different flavors maybe of or different things appeal to different I would say the course is really ultimately getting at this non-dualistic. So I don't want to say that everything is true. I think the ultimate truth is what Jesus is saying here, in the deeper, the fine print, right? If you read the fine print, it says, but cause and its effect are indistinguishable, right? I am indistinguishable from God ultimately, right? So let's read on. And all your attributes abide in me, because it is your will to have a son, so like his cause, the cause and its effect are indistinguishable. Let me know that I am an effect of God, and so I have the power to create like you. So I have the same power to create as God has. And this is why the word effect is capitalized, right? The word effect really should be, if it means that I am the effect, then that wouldn't necessarily be capitalized. But it's capitalized to point out that the effect and the cause are indistinguishable, which means that I ultimately am not distinguishable. My identity is God's identity, right? My reality is God's reality. There is ultimately no distinction. Let me know that I am an effect of God, and so I have the power to create like you. And as it is in heaven, so on earth. Your plan I follow here, and at the end I know that you will gather your effects. Here, effects is not capitalized, into the tranquil heaven of your love, where earth will vanish, and all separate thoughts unite in glory as the Son of God. So there is no separate thoughts. There are no separate beings. There is no separation. The effects are really one, and they are one with the cause. And all of this ultimately will disappear, right? The earth will disappear. The universe will disappear. The universe, you could say the physical universe, the material universe, the universe of subject and object will be no more, and all will come back into that original one reality, which is really the only reality, and still the only reality, right? It's not like you're going to go back to something that hasn't always been. It's always been, just waiting for us, right? Just waiting for us to do that, to do the inner work, to go home. And this is what the Course is helping us to do, is to do this inner work. So the second paragraph, let us today behold earth disappear, at first transformed. This is, remember, the idea of the real world. We see the real world first, which is the world where everything is just, there's still subject and object, there's still a me and a you, there are still separate things, but everything is love. Everything, I'm in love with everything, everything is loving me. There's only love, right? Total love. But then that disappears, right? Once that is also recognized to be part of the illusion still, you're still in the illusion. The real world is still in the illusion of separation, which is the illusion of duality, which is the illusion of perception, that there's a perceiver and a perceived, fade entirely into God's holy will. So it all fades entirely into God's holy will. And remember, what is God's holy will? Remember this statement here. In all your attributes abide in me, because it is your will to have a son so like his cause. The cause and its effect are indistinguishable. So that's referring, this paragraph now is referring to that earlier statement in the first paragraph, which is God's will, is that the effect be indistinguishable from the cause. I seem to be maybe on my soapbox. I seem to be shouting here, but I'm really just trying to make a strong statement for not reading this carefully. Let's put it that way. Reading this very carefully, and not with an agenda, maybe. Let's put it that way. And maybe I seem to have an agenda myself. Maybe. I mean, I'm just... Let's bring in Ken Wapnick, because this one of the most fascinating things about Ken, and he's also very hotly debated in the Course community. Some people like him, some people really do not like him. He's not with us anymore. But he would point to passages like this and say basically what I'm saying. And people would say, well, isn't that just your interpretation? And he would say, that's not my interpretation, that's what it's saying. And people didn't like that, right? They would say, what? But I think in a way he was right? I understand people's difficulty with him seeming to suggest that he's not giving his interpretation. But then I think you have to, there's a point at which you have to say, well, there is a correct reading here of what this is saying, and there are incorrect readings of what this is saying, right? Where you can get off base, where you can get off track with the Course if you think it's saying something that it's really not saying in the ultimate sense. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this was making sense, what I was saying. And it's getting dark. Let me see if I can turn the light on here so I can see what. No. Yeah, there's a light. Okay. Let's do this song. Do a quick version of the song. Let me know if this was helpful at all today. If this was making sense. If this accords with what you think, or if you think this is saying something different, let me know. I would love to hear. I'm not here to argue with anyone. I'm just here to share what I think it says, and then you tell me your thoughts. We'll go from there. And we'll meet in the music as we always do. I am forever an effect of God. Father, I was created in your mind. A holy thought that never left its source. I am forever your affected. You forever and forever are my cause, and as you created me, I have remained. Where you established me, still abide, and all your attributes abide in me, because it is your will to have a son so like his cause that cause and its effect are indistinguishable. disappear, at first transformed and then forgiven, fade entirely into God's holy will. Fade entirely into God's holy will. Fade entirely into God's holy will. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Blessings. See you very soon. Keep shining. Shine on. Rock on.